and God bless Texas.
During a visit to the state capitol in Austin, Texas, the C-SPAN school bus crew spoke to Governor Ĝorџ W. Bush about issues concerning his state.
Well, there's 4 big issues, actually 5. One is a no taxes budget, which we will pass. Secondly is to reform the juvenile justice code of the state of Texas. We've lived under an old code, and the House and the Senate have both passed a rewrite version that I support. The second is to change the welfare system of Texas, which we're in the process of doing. The third is to change the tort laws of the state of Texas. The pendulum of justice had been out of balance, and we're fixing to make it fair. And the final one is to deregulate the schools of Texas. We're in the process of a big education debate. We're rewriting the entire education code, giving teachers and parents and principals more power at the local level.
What are some of the major issues you're facing regarding education?
Well, one big issue is what I've called home rule education districts, which will give any district in the state of Texas the right to declare its freedom from the clutches of centralized authority, subject to results. So it's a governance issue, and that is a freedom issue, coupled with an accountability issue. We must hold our schools and teachers accountable for freedom, and in return for freedom, which we're doing. Also, we're in the process of having a zero tolerance program. We won't tolerate disruptive children in the classroom. It's a tricky issue because it requires a proper amount of funding and a change of the laws, but I think we will achieve that as well.
Is your state doing any work in regards to the information superhighway in regards to education and politics?
Well, we are. We're fixing to change the telecommunications industry of our state. And as part of that, we've insisted that the communications carriers provide infrastructure to wire our schools with the optic highways. And right now we've got a commitment of at least $1.1 billion to rewire the schools and the hospitals and the universities of the state of Texas. We, of course, would like to see a little more from our communications carriers. But we believe, and I believe, that the communications highway, the optic highway, is the future for the delivery of education into the classrooms. One of the things that we're insisting upon in Texas is funding of basic education. And enrichment would come from just turning on a TV set. Take, for example, a rural high school in the middle of nowhere in our vast state. It makes all kinds of sense for that high school to be able to tune in an interactive way to a physics classroom emanating out of Austin, Texas. And I think that's going to happen in the near future for Texas. Senator Dole is a leader. Time and time again in the United States Senate, he has proven that he is a master of moving seemingly unmovable objects to getting things done. Senator, you are made of steel. And America needs your strength. America needs your strength to reform welfare and to balance our budget. America needs your strength to stand up for our families and our values. America needs your strength as the commander-in-chief of our country. To change America, we must change presidents. Senator Dole, we need your integrity and character in our White House. And I am proud to be able to do anything I can to help you achieve the presidency of the United States. It is my honor to welcome the next President of the United States, Senator Bob Dole. Tonight, throughout this convention, we celebrate something that is bigger than this election, bigger than our moral responsibility as America in the free world, bigger than our economic opportunities. We celebrate the hearts of America. The ideas you will hear at this convention are all based on the Republican Party's confidence in people and each and every individual's ability to make a difference. All across this country, people of good heart and goodwill are reaching out every day to help a neighbor, to provide for their families, and to work in their communities. It is the heart and will of America that gives me confidence when I say that we can solve the biggest problem facing our country, and that is a failed country and a failed culture. A culture which once delineated right from wrong and good from bad has shifted to a culture that flouts virtue and revels in irresponsibility. It's a culture that says if it feels good, do it, and be willing to blame somebody else for society's ills. To compound the problem, big government has assumed duty shrugged off by a changed society. more interested in grabbing all the gusto than in taking personal responsibility. National Democrats have insisted that virtually every problem demands a government solution, and as a result, taxes are up and bureaucracies are large. And the results for America have been tragic. Men father children and walk away expecting someone else to care for them. Young girls from all walks of life are having more and more babies out of wedlock, and 1 in 8 Americans are dependent on welfare. Violent juvenile crime is exploding. Laura and I have twin daughters who are 14 years old, and we love them dearly. But the world we want to leave for them is not the world they will inherit unless, as a society, we act now. I want you to know that I'm an optimist. I've seen a culture change in my lifetime, and I know it can change again. Not backwards, but forwards into a new day in which everybody is held responsible for what they do and what they say. It won't be easy, but it must happen, and Republicans must lead the way. What we need in America is renewal of spirit, a return to selfless concern for others. Government can put money in your pocket, but it cannot hand out hope or put a sense of purpose in our lives. Our forefathers wisely saw the need to separate church and state, but they never intended that we deny the central role that faith plays in our daily lives. Our public institutions and our people must teach values, standards of behavior which have stood the test of time. Love your neighbor. I'm sorry you couldn't pitch for us this year. I appreciate you all coming. Senator and Mrs. Dole, welcome to Texas. Make no mistake about it. Senator Dole, when Texans vote, they're going to vote for you. And they're going to vote for you because Bob Dole understands Texas. He thinks like a Texan. And he's going to act like a Texan. And when I say he's going to act like a Texan, it means he's going to keep his word. I'm proud to be on the Dole team. This is a good and decent man. He's a man I want to be the President of the United States, because when my girls look at the White House, I want a leader they can be proud of. I want a leader who knows where he's been and knows where he's going. My fellow Texans, please welcome the next President of the United States, Bob Dole.